ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य आणीस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ॐ May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both speech and mind be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through this study. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you. Good morning. This morning I am going to speak on the life and teachings of Lord Buddha. Last month happened to be the birth anniversary of Lord Buddha. We could not speak on Lord Buddha in last month. So, this month, I am going to speak on Lord Buddha. But I am not going to speak the simple life of Lord Buddha. And I am not going to speak simple teachings of Lord Buddha. I would like to bring to your notice some critical point from the life of Lord Buddha. Almost we all know, maybe not sufficient enough, but still, we all know about the life and teachings of Lord Buddha. So, I shall only bring to your notice some critical points from the life of Lord Buddha and some critical points from the spiritual teachings of Lord Buddha. The first thing is that Lord Buddha was born before Shankaracharya. Probably he was the first missionary in India, and he was the first who organized the monastic order, the monastic organization. Buddha had a tremendous contribution in the world philosophy and obviously spirituality. But unfortunately, for a long time, the exact birthplace of Buddha and the exact place of Buddha's realization was not identified. After a long time, those spots were identified. It was not because of any effort from different quarters. You will surprise to know that Buddha was born then India, and he left his mortal body in India. But afterwards, Buddha was completely forgotten in India. Even now, if you explore in India, you cannot find, except Bodh Gaya, any prominent impression or mark of Lord Buddha. In comparison with Singapore, in comparison with Sri Lanka, in comparison with Japan, China, in other countries. And many thinkers, they tried to probe in the question, issues, why it happened. It has different reason. Even Swami Vivekananda, in length, he analyzed the cause of the downfall of Buddhism in India. However, I would like to start this talk from the question. Raising this question, you know that Buddha left his home and hearth by seeing three scenes: old age, diseased, and the dead person. And in most of the books of Buddhism, you can find that Buddha did not interacted, or Buddha did not see those three things. He did not know. That was the first time Buddha saw those three things. And then Buddha tried to find the answer of those three things, and he left his home and hearth. And in Bodh Gaya, he found the answer of those three questions. Now, my point is, the first point. If we go through Buddha's life, we can find there are two authentic lives of Buddha. One is Buddha Ghosh's Buddha Charit, and another That's the most first authentic book of Buddha's life. I would come to that point. So, we can find that Buddha was outstanding intellectual, and Buddha was voracious reader. So, and when he left his home and hearth, he was about, I think, 29 years old when he left his home and hearth. So 29 years old, and he got married. So in 29 years old, a person has not come across old person, diseased and dead person. It is very hard to believe. And he was such intellectual. We can accept that he has not seen those things, but it is hard to believe that he did not have any idea about that. Definitely he had some idea about that. The first question is, what happened in his mind that by seeing simply those things, he left his home and hearth? Is it very common? No. That was my first question. The second question is, and I would try to explore to find the answer of these questions in my talk. The second question is, when he was 3 or 4 years old, it is not known to everyone, but when he was 3 or 4 years old, he was sitting under the rose apple tree, and suddenly he experienced a kind of extreme peace in his mind. And he never forgot that. It was a kind of trance. He experienced that. If we compare Buddha's life with the life of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda, we find the same thing happened in the life of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. We know that Swami Vivekananda, when he was 4 or 5 years old, he saw a line of white crane flying in front of the dark cloud on the sky. And by seeing this, he went into samadhi. He fainted and he fell down. We find in the life of Swami Vivekananda also, when Swami Vivekananda's father moved to Raipur from Calcutta, they were moving, and in horse cart they were traveling on the way to Raipur, to their new home. And suddenly, Raipur in Madhya Pradesh, that is a kind of little bit hilly place. So when they were traveling, suddenly Swami Vivekananda saw 2 cliffs of huge hill, and the crack between these 2 cliffs, and the honeybee is coming in and enter into that crack, and a huge beehive is hanging from that crack. By simple, the honeybees are flying in and flying out. By seeing this, Swami Vivekananda went into a trance. So all these things happened in their childhood. Afterwards, when Buddha left home and hearth in 29 years old, then he went to his first teacher, whose name was Alar Kalam. It is said that Alar Kalam taught him yoga, because Buddha taught yoga and Vedanta both. So, when he went to Alar Kalam, he asked Alar Kalam that please teach me something by which I can get that kind of peace in my mind and serenity in my mind that I had experienced earlier. So that was the search Buddha was trying to get everywhere. The next, he was unsatisfied with Alar Kalam, and he came to Ramputra, another, it is called the Vedantic teacher, Sudraka Ramaputra. And he taught Vedanta. It is said that he taught Vedanta from him. And then ultimately we know that he realized the Bodhi. Now the question is, we have almost studied from different books about Buddha. Now, what was the thing? Buddha found the answer of these three questions. But what were the answers? Have you found anywhere else? I searched a number of times in different books. I asked different Swamis. It is extremely difficult to find from any book that what actually the answer Buddha discovered. It is extremely difficult to find any book. Buddha everywhere it is written that Buddha got the answer of the question that he had in mind after seeing those three sights. This is my second question, that what was the answer? Could he stop old age? Could he stop disease? Could he stop dead person or the death? So what was the exact answer Buddha found? This is my second question. And the third point, that I shall not go deep into that is, what was the spiritual practice? If he got the answer, then what was the actual spiritual practice for that? There is a theory. We can understand the philosophy, but we have to attain that philosophy. There must be some spiritual practice, step by step, by which we can attain that spirituality. And what is that? So these are the 3 questions I would like to put before you. What was the spiritual practice that he discovered? What was the answer he found? And the first question is it possible by seeing these 3 sides one can leave home and hearth by simply? Let us consider that Buddha knew about these 3 sides. So his mind was prepared. It was not true that he saw it and instantly he left his home and hearth. It is quite impossible logically. So it was sure that Buddha knew about it. Not only that, he thought about it. He reflected about it. And he tried to find what is the solution. It was in his mind. And by seeing those 3 scenes, he resolved that I want to find it. And by staying in my palace, it is impossible to find the answer of these questions. He resolved and he left home and hearth. We find the same thing in the life of Sri Chaitanya. When Sri Chaitanya, she was a outstanding intellectuals, outstanding scholars in scriptures. When he took initiation, and that happened to be in Gaya also, from Ishara Bharati, when he took initiation from Ishara Bharati, we find that this kind of conversion, it is a kind of conversion. We found it. He completely got rid of the books and everything, and he transformed. And when he took the sannyasa, immediately he left his home and hearth. So the mind was ready. This kind of conversion, it is called a kind of conversion. So the mind was ready for that. And when the time came, immediately that conversion took place. For some, this conversion takes place very instantly. For some, it is a very lengthy process. Slowly, this transformation comes in. Unnoticed, this transformation comes, I am talking about the spiritual transformation, comes in individual life unnoticed. One cannot understand or realize this transformation. It comes without any kind of knowledge. After a long time, one can understand, or sometimes they cannot understand. For them, it is a kind of normal process of life. So that exact thing happened in Buddha's life. The second thing is the peace and happiness. So the happiness, this is what is the goal of our life. I ask this question sometimes in my lecture, that what is the goal of our life? Money? What exactly? Have you thought about that? What is my goal? Yes, definitely there is some short-term goal. Yes, I want to get good marks in examination, or I want a job, or I want that my close relative soon he or she becomes cured. So all these things are short term. But what is the ultimately, what is the long term goal we actually expect and we actually want them? If you think carefully, you can find peace and happiness. That is what we want. Money, whatever in this world, you find the ultimate goal is peace and happiness. That is what we want. So the concept of happiness is different in different philosophies. Let us take, I am talking about Indian philosophy, and obviously I should touch Western philosophy also. For Nyaya Vaisheshika, they do not consider that the happiness is embedded in the self. You know, in Advaita Vedanta, it is said that the self is the ultimate thing, our real nature is our self, and this self is already existence, knowledge and bliss. So the Ananda aspect, the happiness, peace, all these are already in the self. So it is, we basically are blissful. We, each and everybody, what is the proof of that? The proof of that is we always want best and beautiful. So we always want the knowledge of everything. That is our real nature. We cannot go without that. Always our tendency is the best one, the good one, the beautiful one. That is our tendency in our mind. We cannot go, or we cannot avoid that tendency or trait of our nature. So according to Advaita Vedanta, the happiness is embedded in you. But why don't we become happy? Why we are unhappy? It is because of our ignorance. Our desire for our short-term goal is so strong that we try to grab those things. Take the example of a small child. If you show him the chocolate, and if you tell him you have the examination, you have to go through it, and when you will pass, you will become such and such. So first they will grab the chocolate because they try to find the long-term, short-term happiness. It is our nature. So we always do that. Because of this tendency of mind, we cannot see the long-term happiness and we cannot go for long-term happiness. That is why we cannot become happiest person. Because we are always trying to divert ourselves in a short-term temporary happiness. We always like the temporary happiness, which is not give you the permanent happiness. If you are sinking and if you just hold a straw, can that straw save your life? It is impossible. Because it is temporary and it is not long term. However, long term, definitely patience and struggle is required. But obviously for good things something is required. However, this is Advaitic view. Nyaya Vaisheshika view is that it is only the reduction of unhappiness and stress. If we reduce our unhappiness, then we will be happy. So, happiness is the reduction of unhappiness. If we can somehow reduce our unhappiness, then we will become happy. That is the view of Western psychologist and the Nyaya and Vaisheshika philosophy. They always try to reduce the unhappiness. I was talking about the authentic book of Buddha, and that is Lalita Vistar. These two books are very authentic. One is Lalita Vistar and another is Buddha Ghos's Buddha Charit. So these two books are very authentic on Buddha's life. However, this is the view of Nyaya and Vaisheshika, that if we can reduce our unhappiness, and that is the happiness. The third view of Sankhya and Yoga. Sankhya and Yoga, they did not pay any importance of self or spirit, but they said that the purity of self, if we have the purity of self, then we can get the happiness. So they emphasize, which is called the Chitta Shuddhi. And how can we get the Chitta Shuddhi or the purity of our mind? By meditation, by Kriya Yoga, by control of mind and all other things. So this is the view of Sankhya and Yoga. And obviously in detail they have the thing. But what was the Buddha's solution? So we can understand it very clearly that Buddha did not try to find the solution from this world. Had he been tried that, he would have constructed huge hospital for the diseased person, huge old age home, or any other means, worldly means. But he did not do that. He confined himself in Bodh Gaya and tried to reflect within, to find the answer. So this is another teaching for us. Not only Buddha. If we find the religious leaders of this world, we find that they always tried to find the answer from within. I can give you my own experience, one example of my own experience, and I can give you another example that how this reflection can give us the answer. When I came in this country, I found that one, say around 50 years, gentleman, his name was Jonathan. He used to call sometimes in very odd time, sometimes at 12 noon and sometimes at 1 o'clock, and said, within 10 minutes or half an hour I am coming. Can I meditate in your shrine? So I was there. I said, yes, I can open the gate. So I used to open the gate, and afterwards it was I was familiar with this kind of thing. So whenever he called, I opened the gate, and he used to sit that corner, the last seat or the last but one row, that corner side closer to the window, and he used to meditate not less than 2 hours at a stretch, sometimes more. So I used to come and see. He was very heavy, very overseas kind of body, and has a huge beard. And he used to sit there. I sometimes, so long time, because I have to lock the gate. That time the problem of this park was there, so I wanted to lock the gate. Sometimes I came here and I saw he was meditating, completely absorbed, and open his mouth. It is peculiar. Open his mouth like that. He is meditating, completely absorbed. I thought whether he is sleeping or what, but no, straight. However, he used to come 4-5 days at a stretch, and then he dropped. He was completely missing for 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, and then again suddenly he called, and he used to come for again 5-6 days at a stretch continuously. So one day I was very curious, and I asked him there. He was just leaving. I asked him, Jonathan, can I ask you one question? Yes. I said, what do you do there? He said, I meditate. I said, meditate means, I am a little bit curious. What kind of meditation you do? Means you close your eyes and then what you think, or on which object you are concentrating, or what is the process of your meditation? Then he told that I reflect. I said, what kind of reflect? He said, I reflect on my problems. I said, what does it mean? He said, whenever I face any problem or trouble, I come here and I meditate on my trouble or problem. And then what happened? Unless I find the solution, or unless I feel some kind of satisfaction, I meditate. And 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, he got the answer. And again he was missing. So I saw that it is possible. It is possible. Please know it for sure. This is the thumb rule. We cannot solve our problem. Very carefully, we try to take the help from outside. It will be no help. We cannot solve our problem. So what happens? As long as our mind interact with this problem, as long as our mind cannot accept the problem, our mind is ready to accept the problem, we have some difficulties. When our mind is ready and in tune with that problem, accept the problem, the conflict is resolved. So that is what he used to do. He was reflecting on the problem specifically, and he was getting ready of his mind to tune with the frequency of the problem, and he actually absorbed the problem. He could not solve the problem. He absorbed the problem. The conflict was resolved. In other words, he resolved the conflict of his mind and the problem. That was the actual thing, what he did. However, so this was the meditation or some kind of thing we resolved. And then what thing that Buddha discovered? Buddha found that why we are unhappy. This happiness and unhappiness is connected with what? It's connected with I. I am happy. I am unhappy. Try to understand it very clearly. I am happy. I am unhappy. If I is not there, then with what happiness and unhappiness could be attached? Nothing. In Vedanta, I-ness is the central point. Everything starts with I. I is the self consciousness. Everything starts with I. Then one after another, it is a kind of cocoon, starts with self I, then I and mine, I am X, then I am Y, I am a man or I am a woman, then I am a daughter or I am a son, then I am a friend, then I am a colleague, then I am a social person. So in this way, I am a doctor, I am an engineer. So slowly this I, the volume of I increases. And then the problem starts. The problem, the more I will gain the volume, the more problem. Only I doesn't have anything. And then will come the mine. This is mine. This is my table. This is my property. This is my shirt. Everything. When this I, from I the my come. And when my come, problem increases. So what Buddha thought, that everything is coming from this I. So if there will be no I, so then who are you? I am. No identity. I am. So the question is, from where you have come? There must be a cause, and I have come as an effect. So what Buddha discovered? Buddha discovered that there must not be any I, no self. But there must be a cause and effect chain. And the whole theory, that is why Buddhism is called Noiratmavada. Noiratma means, it is a Sanskrit word. There is no Atman, no concept of Atman, no I. Shunya. Shunya means nothingness. So if I do not have any kind of identity, then who will become happy? Who will become sad? Nothing. That is what Buddha discovered. And cause and effect. The whole theory, philosophical theory, he called Pratitya Samutpada, dependent origination. There are two parts in dependent origination. One is this causal effect part. Everything there is a cause, and obviously there is an effect. Then effect is becoming the cause. So it is a chain. But this chain is identical, different from one another. It is not that it is a continuous chain. It is separated, but it is so fast that we are thinking it is chain. That is another school of Buddhism. This is called Kshonikavada, momentariness. So every moment is a different from other. That is another school of Buddhism. But this chain, which is called dependent origination, here Buddha explained there are 13 loops in this chain. And Buddha described that how this ignorance, and obviously what is the cause of our suffering? Buddha said life is suffering. And what is the cause of suffering? Obviously our ignorance. Our ignorance is the cause of our suffering. So how can one, from starting from ignorance, becomes enlightened? That path Buddha showed in Pratitya Samutpada, dependent origination. These are 13 steps Buddha found in the dependent origination, where he explained from ignorance through causal effect. Through causal effect, one can attain the enlightenment. And he called it ihosmin sati idam hati. This is a Pali word. These being, there that happens causal change. Everything in this universe is connected by cause and effect. Buddha tries to explain the whole universe by applying the cause and effect theory. This was the first time in India Buddha, the great philosopher, did it, because our Upanishadic sages tried to solve the problem by transcending the universe. The uniqueness of Buddha was that Buddha did not ignore this world or universe. The Upanishadic sages, they always said that this is illusory. This has no meaning. But Buddha did not ignore the universe. And keeping universe in his assessment, Buddha, with causal effect, Buddha explained this. After Buddha, when Shankaracharya came, he changed the whole Advaita Vedanta. And he said, he kept the universe. He did not say that universe doesn't have any existence. And he brought the theory of Maya. He said that this world has existence. Maya has existence. We cannot deny Maya. We have to accept the existence of Maya. Because Maya, if there is only one reality, Brahman, then Maya is also connected with Brahman. Maya cannot be two. So it is also starting when Brahma started. There is no starting though. So it is eternal. As Brahman is eternal, similarly the Maya is also eternal. So Maya has the existence, but Maya has no effect. As for example, if you see a snake on the rope, that snake cannot bite you. If you see a vibgyor, you cannot cut a piece of the vibgyor. If you see the mirage, you cannot take a bucket of water from the mirage. So you can see that. It is real. It is already there. You cannot ignore that. You cannot ignore its existence. But it doesn't have any effect. In this way, Shankaracharya kept this universe. He did not ignore this universe. And so he changed the philosophy after Buddha. But it was Buddha who first did not ignore this universe, kept this universe. And from there, he found the way out of it. The second thing is that Buddha connected it with the cosmos also. This chain is the individual. But Buddha found the cosmos also. With the cosmos, how it is connected, that is also Buddha explained. Buddha explained this universe is also the effect of cause. Some cause is there, so effect is that only. So in this way, he connected that effect with the world. So this was actually the discovery of Lord Buddha. So he completely denied the Atman doctrine. But the question is it possible? Is it possible for a person to live without the sense or without the concept of I? Why not? See Japan, see Sri Lanka, holding Buddhism, they are living life. So, it is possible. And what Sri Ramakrishna says, as many paths, so many ways. So this is one of the ways that Buddha kept before us. And if you consider huge population of this world is following Buddhism, and what they are trying to find, they are trying to find, or rather they are trying to eliminate this I-ness. And where to reach? Nothingness. To reach Shunya, nothingness. And they are happy. So happiness can be achieved through this path also. Peace can be achieved through this path also. Now one point I should not touch, that is, what is the spiritual practice to attain this path? This point I should not touch. Do you have any question? Do you have any question? Yes.
So, the theory of reincarnation, does that stem from the nothingness? Is the nothingness the first existence? I guess I get confused with how you have reincarnation.
You are talking about causal effect or what?
Yeah, the theory of the cause and effect.
So, this is a good question. So the causal effect is not the open chain, it is a circular. So it is going round and round. Only when you can cut this causal effect chain, you will be liberated. And for this universe, there is a causal effect. Some causes are there. That is why this came. But according to Vedanta, this Brahman is beyond cause. It is neither the cause of anything, it is not the effect of anything. Any question? No question? Okay, thank you. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkham Apnuvat Sarvastarotu Durgani Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu Sarva sadbuddhimapnotu, sarva sarvatra nandatu, durjana sajjano bhuyat, sajjana shantimapnuat, shantamucchete bandhebhyo, muktaschanyan vimochayet. May all be happy, may all enjoy good health, may all see happy events, may all be freed from miseries, may all be freed from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bondages, may the freed make others free, may the Supreme Deity, the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied, for he being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto you all. You know, perhaps that this year we are going to celebrate Swami Vivekananda's 125th anniversary of his visit to the Bay Area. And in connection to that, we have several events. We have already completed 2 events. Our next event will be on 4th of July here in this hall. Different Swamis are coming from different parts of the United States, and they will speak in different angles of Swami Vivekananda. There will be the meditation, there will be the devotional songs, instrumental music, question answer session. So there will be a whole day. There will be the spiritual retreat from 10:30 to 4:30. 1 hour lunch break. And then on 5th, we have in San Ramon, we have a short program from 4:30 to 7:30. So I would request you all, because just to see the assessment, there is a registration. So just register your name and how many people are coming, like that, so that we can understand that how many people are coming. And next program is actually our biggest program of this whole 1 year event, and that is the musical program. On 26th July, all the world famous artists are coming, and they will perform in the Center for Performing Arts in San Jose. It will be on July 26. All are Padma awardee, so they will perform. I request you, this is the only fundraising program throughout the year-long program, so I request you, please help the cause, and please come and tell your family, friends and acquaintance to bring to this program. Thank you very much. Tea and coffee will be served. We are requested to join.